And welcome back to another episode of Goblin-Sighting D&D. I'm your DM. These are my adventures. When last we left, oh boy, you guys were in for quite the adventure there. I did make an error last time where Victor was getting totally whomped by poison damage, and I forgot that he can't be getting mollywopped that bad because he's got resistance. So I went back, I gave him a little bit too much HP back, but who cares? It's Victor. And you guys found yourselves in a huge open chambers. About our initial estimates put it about 500 to 600 feet on the side, with a ziggurat in the middle, surrounded by a wide moat. And both of you managed to get a high enough perception check to note that the water was moving, which on closer inspection proves to be a lot of snakes.
I hate snakes.
Yes. So, at the top, you saw with your natural 20 perception check, you spotted Fabio, his men, and the temple staff tied up on top of the ziggurat. So I'm gonna just have everyone roll initiative at this point. Well, no. Let's make a stealth check, just for fairness' sake.
Can I re-roll that number?
No, just keep the number you had. It's just a stealth instead of an initiative. And then why does your dice keep hiding? Why is that so on point for you? Test. I'm looking for the right one. I still lose it. What are you doing behind the door? Oh. It's been a while. Alright.
I haven't taken off the cloak. I'm just not going to be worrying about redoing it necessarily.
Well, I mean, it can't hurt to take another action to try.
Okay, the reason I get
advantage.
I get advantage on that one, right?
Yes.
So is that a spell slot that I have to use to get it? No, it's just invoking it on
the charge of the. It's a charge off of the cloak of invisibility.
I did that when I saw what we had it then.
Okay, so knock another charge off your cloak and mark an hour for that time frame.
Well, I can't. I've got to do that manually because I haven't been able to get it into there. So.
And Elizabeth is the only one who doesn't roll with advantage because everyone has the boots. No, Finnan doesn't either because he has the boots of something else.
Did I give him the boots of speed and strength?
No, he's got the boots of speed. I don't know why, but... Oh! That's why. You can take a bonus action to click the boots' heels together, and the boots double my speed, and any creature that makes an opportunity attack against him has disadvantage on the attack roll. Use you can click it again and end the effect, and then when you use the boots property, wow, for a total of 10 minutes, the magic ceases to function for you until you finish a long rest. So,
What's his normal speed
right now,
without the boots?
25 feet. So he can click them and click into 50 and disadvantage on opportunity attacks against him.
Right.
So he has those,
Okay.
which he picked up when he picked up the cloak and the robe of stars,
Right.
and which he is still wearing.
Excellent.
Looks a little incongruous, but
But it's cool.
It's still
One
cool.
way or the other.
So Victor rolls with advantage. Yeah, 14 last. And yeah, where is it?
I have 11.
Thank you. Boots of Owen kind. Advantage on stealth check. 14 plus 17. Elizabeth gets an 11. Finnan gets a 28.
Yay,
You got a
11.
11,
11.
11, 14, and 28, and 7. Jeez.
Was that the 7?
You think?
Elizabeth.
Yes, thank you, Miss.
Oh, I thought you said 11. When you said
11,
it, I heard it as 11.
11, 11,
7.
7,
Okay.
14,
Yeah.
and or 17 and 28. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been spotted, unfortunately. Unfortunately, not enough of you capped the DC to make it a success. You were quiet, but
Right.
you were
Stealthy.
not that stealthy.
Is it some kind of an average?
It's the way I run it is I usually make a perception check for the target creature, and then set that as your DC
Ah,
to
right,
beat.
that makes sense.
If the general average beats the DC, then you get a surprise round.
So he was above 13. Anyway.
It was significantly above 13.
Finnan made it.
Finnan passed in spades. He may not be noticed. Not
Well,
sure about that.
Would
But-
Grinder be noticed even in his invisibility cloak?
No, but he would have been potentially heard.
But with the rest
Maybe
of us being
he
heard,
kicked
they might not have
something,
noticed
maybe
him
he
separately.
scuffed something, maybe he ran into something. But it's not that you're noticed. It's not that you're seen. It's that you're perceived. So
Him individually or the group?
the
Because-
group as a whole has been perceived.
Yep.
They don't necessarily know about the existence of
Right.
a wizard
Right.
in the group per se. It's
Or
just
a
that-
rogue.
or a rogue potentially. It's squiffy on that point, but given how high Finnan rolled, but the
goodness.
group has been spotted and the surprise is dashed.
Yeah, okay.
So now
You
we
be
roll for
careful.
initiative. And away we go.
Well, that's better.
Ooh, Finnan, you are finally looking up again. There you are not. Elizabeth, why am I not surprised? I'll thump you.
Is there a circumstance where you get to roll with advantage on an initiative?
Certain things will give you that, either feats, boons, or artifacts.
I was
will
just
sometimes
curious.
Yes, there is something in one of the other campaigns that I've played where I'm playing a shadow monk. I got myself a hand crossbow of alertness, which I can't be surprised. I can't be. I get advantage on initiative checks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Cool. I need initiative. I need advantage on every roll.
Yeah.
The way that I roll, but
yeah.
No, it's the dice that are rolling, so what you need is...
I mean, you could eventually take the lucky feat, which gives you a chance a certain number of times to reroll. I think it's a natural one or just a regular reroll. Finnan rerolls natural ones because he's lucky. This is a halfling.
Does he get to
Shiny
decide that after he rolls the natural one? Or
He rolls the natural one, and because of his racial feat known as halfling luck,
Right.
he can reroll a natural one.
Nice.
as long as he doesn't re-roll the one.
If he rerolls a natural one, he's screwed. But
Yeah.
he can at least get a better, a 19 out of 20% chance,
Yeah.
like a 95% chance or something like that, to not get another one.
Right.
Okay. 1 second.
2% chance of
That too.
getting a double one.
Yeah. Finnan is at 20.
And I'm at 20.
Yay.
You are
13.
13, good. Finnan will be going before you. Just
Fine.
because, you know.
I think we should roll perception on traps on whatever bridge we look at to see if there's anything that might cause us to go through. You know, like a stone that does this and dumps us in the water, which I would really rather not have happen.
Really rather not have.
What's your initiative bonus, Edra?
My initiative bonus is 0.
Okay. Victor's is like plus 3 or something. Yeah, plus 3. Wow. Alright. So, speaking is okay. So, at the top of the round, the abomination is going to the two abominations are going to begin a hissing chant in whatever it is they speak. I can't remember what they speak off the top of my head. Correct me.
Slarnic.
It's something specific. Yeah, it's something guttural and deep. You recognize the sound if you can make just a straight up intelligence check.
No.
What'd you get?
7.
No. You've heard it before, but you don't recognize it.
That's pretty normal.
11.
No. It's familiar, but it's not something you've spoken regularly. So they're going to start chanting.
So it is not. Just a second. It's not draconic, goblin. It's not either of
Not
those.
elvish, draconic, goblin, or common, or dwarvish. Finnan is up next. And he is going to hold a short bow action if anything comes in range for now. Or no. The range on this Pythagorean. Like, I want to use assassinate, but like, it's not really useful at this point. What's the range on range on a magic missile?
What is the range?
Yeah.
Just a second.
120 feet.
120 feet?
Yep.
And we haven't established the actual height yet.
Oh, that's not the point. The point is, you can see some of the snake-bodied Malazans, like the ones that you saw earlier, as well as some that have the bodies of men and the heads of snakes running around, both on the ziggurat and then on the galleries and the balustrades.
set around
And the
the
what?
outside of.
The galleries and the balconies running around.
Oh,
The
I
rim of the room.
remember the
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about. What did I say they were?
How high off the ground are they?
Probably about close to 100 feet. They look to be like a gallery
Yeah.
for sacrificial attendees, supplicants, and worshippers to view the altar practices being held on top of the ziggurat. But they're under repair at the moment, so there are these like wooden scaffolds that are running around, and there's like rope bridges connecting pieces of them together and things like that. So, and then there's some ladders that you can climb up if you wanted to get up on the
So from the
Scaffolding.
galleries, you can look down on the ziggurat.
There's,
not necessarily all the way down, but you would be. It depends on how high the ziggurat is. We never really figured out exactly how high it is, but they're about 100 feet, 100 and something feet up in there.
you said there are ladders that
There are ladders that go up to the scaffolding,
are they fixed or are they just up against it?
just kind of up against it.
I was just wondering if it would help us to steal one so that if we have trouble, then we wouldn't have as much trouble climbing up each one of the steps.
If you want to grab a 30 to 60 foot ladder,
Oh, okay.
because
to go up 10
high,
feet now.
to the highest, the lowest point on the scaffolding, the lowest platform is about 30 feet off the ground,
Ah,
maybe 20 feet off the ground. So if you want to grab that and run across 60 feet of potentially precarious bridge, and then go use that, be my guest, but it's a tad overkill. It's a good thought, though. It's a good thought. So,
Okay, but here is a thought. It's a 60. There might be a 60-foot ladder floating around.
no.
Oh, just
30 feet is probably the limit.
Okay. That's the end of that thought.
You were using a ladder to crawl across, weren't you?
Me? Heavens.
I'm just going to warn you, if you tried that, the swarms would potentially attack you.
So leave me.
At least a little bit. There's a lot of them in the water. So,
I have this image of.
I mean, you
one
could take
guy-
2 ladders and lash them together if you wanted.
No.
You wanted ladders, so
Yeah,
I was
no.
trying to help you out there.
Oh. Oh, no, I just had this picture of a snake kind of.
What?
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 Anyway, a snake kind of rising up, another snake going on his back, another snake, you're the turtling up
Pretty
to
much.
get out of the water.
More like World War Z attack on Jerusalem, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, Finnan is going to run. He's going to click his boots as his bonus action. He's going to then run 50 feet out into the open. No, he's going to run 25 feet out into the open. Take a shot at a Malazan within range on the balcony. With the robe of stars, and then run back under the scaffolding. So that's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 7d4 plus 7. So it's a 5th level magic missile. So he blitzes out into the open, yanks one of the stars off his robe, and then
so does the robe kind of regenerate the stars?
1d6 daily at dusk. Yeah, that'd be a pretty poor artifact if it just kind of left. 4, 7, 8, 12, 15, 17, 22 points of damage. Automatically, that feels so good.
And you can't miss with a magic missile.
Nope.
And you can't be saved.
Unless you have shield. Say 22. Okay. And then he dashes back under cover. Rongir, you're up. You are invisible. They have not spotted you yet. So... they know that someone is here, but they don't know necessarily where you are per se.
But as soon as I do something, they will.
Technically. They'll know there's a wizard in the area that is invisible. They will not necessarily know exactly where you are, hence their attacks will be made at disadvantage. It's kind of like fighting in a pitch black room. You can't see them, but you know they're there, and so you just start swinging and
And they're how far away?
Okay, there are some
Malazans?
there are some Malazans within at least 120 feet because Finnan was able to hit one. There are like some of them are on the balcony, and some of them are on the scaffolding, and some of them are on the ziggurat. Some of them
Well,
have
we can't possibly hit any of them on the ziggurat because they're
160, and then up, and then in. Yeah, the closest one is probably about 200. Unless you took a shot at him with a longbow with disadvantage, you would be hopelessly out of range.
Those standing on the scaffolding, would I be correct in understanding the scaffolding is wood?
Yes,
It would burn.
it would. With that said, they could either move around and get down, or
Oh, sure.
jump back on the stone balcony and then disappear and then come out somewhere else.
Absolutely true, but
Any that are not initially caught in the blast will not be injured by the fire.
and how far can I cast?
120 feet? 150 feet?
I'll have to.
I want to say it's 150. Because that was one of the reasons why you switched to Fireball over Magic Missile, and you figured out that you could throw it further
It's
than
also a
Magic Missile.
minimum of 3, and since I'm really trying to hit people and possibly make them fall that far, if they get caught, right?
Why would they fall?
If the scaffolding that they're standing on burns and it collapses, then they fall.
That's why I said, I don't know if it will burn fast enough to...
Okay.
I could potentially have you roll damage against the scaffolding to see if it breaks, but at worst they'd fall down a couple of platforms and not fall the entire 100 feet. There's like
It's
two...
150 feet that I've got.
Right. So you could either take a shot at, if you run out, you can take a shot at almost anyone on the wall that we're at. So like you could take a shot at probably 3 of them. Max.
Let's do that. The guys behind us are going to be shooting down at us if we go across the bridge. So we want to get rid of them. I'm trying to think of the logic of
The guys, anyone in the room can theoretically take a shot at us depending on where we cross the bridge. Because they have longbows, which means they can shoot out to 500 feet. Are they going to close to an 120? Or however long the longbow has? Probably.
I have a longbow.
So a longbow would give you 150 foot range without disadvantage. So basically, if you can hit them with a fireball, they can hit you without disadvantage with a longbow. And anytime anyone on the scaffolding or the balcony is probably going to try and move to where they can hit you with advantage, and if they can't get there with dashing, they're probably going to run their full movement to try to get closer to you, and then shoot with disadvantage for their action to get a shot off at you to try and slow you down, and then move and shoot until they're no longer in a disadvantaged zone. So,
Well, let's do a level 3.
all right.
Let's get that off of there. Okay. And 8 of these. You.
And then there are also some on the ziggurat, so the closer you run to the ziggurat, the closer you'll get into their effective.
If I remember correctly, we told all these guys that we've got to rescue not to come in after us.
Yeah, it's more likely that as soon as you guys started walking in, that they knew you were there and they went out and kidnapped them.
Six. 29.
29 points of damage, alright. The one that got magic missiles is looking rough.
This is the Melatron?
Yes. It's a snakehead.
And I caught the thing on fire.
29.
Well, if
I'll
I
say
do it in
you
the middle of
blew
the tavern and it's a wooden
hang on,
spear,
hang on. I'm thinking. Trying to figure out how many
Yeah.
HP these scaffolding have. Give me a second. Trying to first deal with how injured the living creatures are before
Okay.
I go after your other problems.
I kind of like to, whenever I do that, take out
You did say 39, correct?
Yeah.
29.
Okay, good.
29.
29.
29. Yeah.
Oops.
Not
Sorry.
so bad.
No, that's fine.
I rolled a 3 and 2 and a 1 this morning. The rest of the 5s or 6s.
Okay. So the scaffolding. I'll say that the floor and the area where they were standing. What?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, okay, fine.
The area where they were standing got pretty much blown apart. And then they all take 3 points of falling damage each. No, sorry, not 3. 4 points of falling damage each. So they fall about 30 feet. D6 per 10 feet is the general falling damage roll. They all landed.
So they're now down on the ground with us.
No. They're still about 70 feet in the air.
These are the next
You
level
blew
of
the
scaffolding.
top level of the
Oh, okay.
scaffolding apart. They landed on a platform 30 feet down, so they're now 70 feet in the air. Okay. Any attacks against you will still happen with disadvantage, regardless, because
They can't see
they
me.
can't see you. And that doesn't go away when you cast a spell, which is, frankly, sick.
Well, and I get to move.
And you can. How far out did you move?
Probably, I moved out 15 and came back 15.
All right.
Only I went to a different location when I came back. I get 30
No,
feet.
I'm saying, yeah, you could technically get that shot off.
Oh, so do I need to go further out?
I mean, I'll allow it.
You're
No,
invisible. You
but-
don't have to go back to the same place you were at.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Just you have to leave where you were.
Well, it's a question of how far out, because Finnan ran 25 feet to get a good shot off at this guy.
So if I go 25, then I can move 5 feet from there.
You move 5 feet in some direction.
Right.
I don't have a
So
bonus action.
you have a bonus action. It's just what you do with it that matters.
Well, I can use the bonus action to move then, right?
No.
No, okay.
No, you can, if you had, I don't think you have the spell Misty Step. Or if you had your Flaming Sphere already up and running, you could use that. But those are the only two that come to mind off the top of my head as like, oh yeah, that's a wizard spell.
Misty Step. That was a cantrip.
Nope. That's a first or second.
Well, let's look
Maybe
at
even
my
a third,
first.
I don't remember. But I think it's between a first and a third level. It gives you 30 feet teleport on your turn. I think Dimension Door may be a bonus action as well, I'm not sure. So,
I don't have it.
okay.
If
I
it's a
like I
level
said,
1,
I-
2, or 3, then I don't.
Like I said, I don't think you have it, and I don't think it's higher than level
I
3.
think I had it early on when I could only have like first, second, or third level spells, and wanted something a little more.
So it's learned, it's just not prepared, is what you're trying to tell me. Okay.
I think
So, it basically the only thing that it does is it gives you 30 feet of teleportation. As your bonus action, you just go poof. I want to be over there, and so, as you launch this fireball and move, you see coming around the sides of the ziggurat, you see a cadre of what look like gigantic skeletal cobras almost. And they're kind of slithering towards the bridges.
So they're just basically bones.
I'd count them as a skeleton if you wanted to hit them.
I don't know if I'm going to get that close. But if I do, it's good to know what they are.
Yeah, I'll classify them as a bone for the purposes of bone counters money ability. The Malazans are now going to go. So the 3 that you just fireballed are going to...
Where our horses are.
They're outside.
Yes, but they were being cared for by the people that are up on top of the ziggurat.
They're not on top of the ziggurat.
No, but
No, I just looked at it outside. As far as you can tell. Oh, I can't find them. So they're just going to behave as I think they would behave. So they're going to, the ones that are on the ziggurat are going to, move down the ziggurat so they're a little bit closer to the people that they can see. And then the... What's that? 10 or so that you can see on the ziggurat. Most of the ones on the ziggurat are the lower half snake ones. Most of the ones up on the walls are the upper head snake ones.
wall is.
And on the galleries.
Yeah.
On the
How many
scaffolding.
total are that we can see?
Make a perception check.
Of which kind are you asking? Both?
I beg your pardon. Oh,
Which
okay.
kind do you have? Oh! 2! I can't see
There's
nothing.
some somewhere. You hope. You think maybe.
We're
It's
getting
very.
something here.
It's been very dark in that tunnel, and now it is very bright.
Mhm.
And you made the mistake of looking at a brazier when you went to go look around, and now all you can see is that. So
It happens.
yeah.
24?
There's about 20 or so, probably,
Of the Melisons or
of the
other
general Malazans, yeah.
That
That
we
you
can
can see.
see that.
There's about 20 of them.
No, I was just curious as to what we were up against before we got up against.
So those ones,
Before we get it against.
excuse me, are going to get up and take shots with longbows. So they are going to, those ones cannot see you, so they're going to get up using half their movement and start moving down the scaffolding to try and get at you guys.
Well, that's right. They can't see them because they're under
right
the scaffolding and they can't
Yeah.
see needy cause.
You're invisible. So the rest of them are going to move closer around the walls. Like they're on these three walls. Like they had a good idea of which ones, where you were probably going to come in, but they didn't know exactly where you were going to come in. And you caught them on the wrong wall. So then those are going to run forward. Those are going to run forward, and they're all going to take shots at you guys. Like 4 of them can hit you without disadvantage, because they're on this wall.
Yeah.
So you're this wall, they're on this wall. There's 2 of them that are over there that are running around, full dash, to get closer. Well, no, not full dash. They're gonna run. They're just they're far enough away. They're gonna have to run full dash.
Yeah, because they're what, probably
Close to 600 feet away from you.
yeah.
So they can't move 100 feet in one movement round, thank God. So they're
I'm not
gonna
sorry.
be-
I am not sorry.
They're gonna run full dash to try and get closer to you guys.
Are these are ones with the snake on the bottom?
Snakeheads.
Snake heads. Okay. I would think that being a snake bottom would slow you down. Of course, blue racers go pretty quick.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen a snake run?
No.
I've seen a blue racer get out of the road.
Exactly. So nope.
Huh?
No disadvantage. No slowing for being the lower half of a snake. Okay. So they're going to. 4 of them are going to take shots at you guys, at the 4 of you, without disadvantage. Then 2 of them are just going to run. Okay. That is a 9 to hit you.
No.
That's a 9 to. Oh, that's an 8 to hit Victor. Hey, that's a 22 to hit Lisbeth, which we will hit. And that is. Oh no, I'm sorry. These things make 2 attacks. My bad.
2 9s against me.
Yeah, 2 9s against you. A 22 against Victor. A 17 against Victor, which does miss. So 2 misses against you, 1 hit against Victor. Which deals. Wait.
And he's pretty much up to full double digits, right? He never got under double digits.
Yeah, he's never been under double digits. He hasn't bottomed out under 3. So that's 3 points, 3 piercing damage, and 2 poison.
Which he has resistance.
It was 5, and he halved it down.
Okay.
You see the wyvern on the winged serpent on his chest flares purple, and as the arrow hits him, which means that these arrows are poisoned.
Yeah. Glad we all have the tattoos.
May help us with the snakes too.
Could be. So then oh my god, Victor, how did you get that?
Huh?
I said, oh my god, Victor, how did you get that? Yeah, because the 22 just hit him. He's got a 22 armor class.
Nice.
That's a 20 against Lisbeth, which does not hit, thanks to her newly upgraded chainmail.
Two.
Yeah. And then a 17 against Lisbeth, which does not hit. And a... Finnan should have gotten his... Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Finnan really should have gotten his armor upgrade in... Water Deep.
You decided that he evades better than he gets protected.
Well, if you upgrade his studded leather armor, then it stays light armor, but it gets plus whatever.
Okay. If there's a next time, then we can do it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that one for next time, for now. He can find someone who can upgrade him, probably, if he pays well enough and sneaks well enough.
Yeah.
To sneak back into Waterdeep or something like that.
Yeah.
Go to a slightly shadier enchantment shop and hang out for a couple of days, hiding out in the lower orders of places, so on and so forth. But for now, he's only got a 17. So 17 will hit him for... Oh...
It's the squishiest stone in the country.
9 points of piercing damage. And the wyvern on his upper back flares as he takes 3 points of poison damage. Then I think that's everyone. Yeah, that's everyone. And then so 4 of them can hit you without disadvantage. The other 2 are running this way. The snake-bodied Malazans, 2 of them are on the wall to your left. Which I will be henceforth, if I slip and refer to them by numbers instead of discarding location. Wall 1 is here.
That's where
Wall,
we are.
yes, you are on wall 1. Wall 2 is the wall to your left. Wall 3 is the wall opposite. Wall 4 is the wall to your right. The way that I'm keeping track is starting from where you guys entered the room. It goes clockwise around the room.
That's counterclockwise.
This way?
Oh, okay.
Left,
I
center,
was
right?
okay. I went the opposite direction when you were starting.
That's okay. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 2 on the wall to your left are also going to take shots. They're going to move 30 feet closer to you guys and take shots without disadvantage on you. Both of them.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's 13 misses, 12 misses, 8, and 16.
Whew.
So just a hail of arrows just come plinking around you. It seems that they've recognized that you're a cleric from the holy symbol on your shield and are taking it personally that you're here.
Aiming too high. They think I'm taller than I am.
Yes. So, the ones on the ziggurat. Keep trying to put an E on like a ziggurat. There are about 10 of them you can see on the ziggurat. They are going to kind of slither down and then kind of coil on a step about 30 feet closer to you, ish, 2 or 3 steps down.
On a ledge.
On a ledge, yeah. Step ledge. and they are going to take shots with disadvantage.
Distance?
Over 120 feet.
Okay.
Or over 150 feet. 'Cause it's 120, or approximately where you guys are to the edge of the moat, then it's 100. And it's another 80 to get to the foot of the ziggurat, then it's up and in. I'm still figuring that out. So I'm just going to say anything less than, like, across the moat, and they're anything less than at the moat or closer, and they're probably firing with disadvantage. I will hold off on your attacks until they get back. Let's see. 2, 4, 6.
They probably stack us in there.
12. Ooh, I forgot about that. 19. Alright. Interesting. So 3 of them are going to fire at each of the party members, because there's actually 12 of them that are on the ziggurat. So against Victor, that's 6. 11. 16. 17. 8. 7. Against Elizabeth, it's 9. 20. Yeah, this one's still doubled. Actually, 1. Happens. It's a mess. 15. 3. So, after 20 is 6, 10 points of piercing damage.
Against who?
Elizabeth. And then 6 points of poison damage. And then against Finnan, 7, 9, 14, 16, 9, and 11. 1 natural 20 and 1 natural 1 in a row against Elizabeth.
Oh.
Leads to 10 points of piercing damage and 6 of poison against Elizabeth. 2 shots, no, 1 shot hits out of 6. 0 on Victor.
Oh, good.
Finnan just got 0 hits as well.
Oh, good.
You're about to get pelted.
Okay.
Crap.
Hmm?
Hang on. I just forgot that I roll with disadvantage. So I forgot
So
that
that'll change Elizabeth?
it changes Elizabeth's. Okay. Gonna reroll her natural 20. To a 7.
Oh, good.
Okay. So you're about to get pelted with disadvantage.
Okay.
They're long distance away. He says until we're across the moat, they'll still be at disadvantage shooting from the ziggurat.
Pretty much is my best estimate, because it's 120 feet to the base of to the moat from here to them. Then it's 80 feet to the base of the ziggurat from the edge of the moat. So it's 140
In or up?
in. Then it starts going up and
Wow.
so, excuse me.
Yeah.
With 150 foot non-disadvantaged range on a longbow, 6 is not going to hit you, is it? Okay. 17 misses. A natural 1.
Is there a consequence?
No.
Good. Okay.
Good.
For me?
No. It's a
It was
natural
his,
one.
yeah, yours.
His natural one, his consequence.
Well,
For the 21.
that will hit.
Okay, so it's one hit. And another 21.
That will hit.
And 11. So 2 hits. So that will lead to
Oh, I see. Only 2 dice of combat.
8 points of piercing and 4 points of poison. As you feel your tattoo pulse with one light against your wherever you put it. I honestly don't remember where you put your tattoo. And you feel the sickening effects of the poison lessened. Your second arrow hits you and it thunks in for a meager 3 points of damage and 1 point of poison.
Oh, good.
So, the swarms are just. Oh no! Wait. Nope, that's it. That's the end of them. Yeah. The swarms are just gonna kind of boil for now. I think. Let me check. Nice. Yeah, they're just gonna boil in the water for now.
Okay.
It is now your turn.
Ah, okay. So I think. So I can see these Malazans in a variety of places,
Yes.
and but everybody else on the ziggurat is too far from me unless I run. Even if I run 30 feet out, I'm not
Run
gonna
30 feet. You're gonna be.
I can double my.
You're gonna be 90.
spell
You're gonna be
ranges.
100.
My spell range is
90, you're 170 feet from the base of the ziggurat if you run 30 feet out.
So if I don't, then with my doubled spell range, I go 240 feet on a spell because I'm a spell sniper. So if I cast my, that has to be let me cast my. Hey, would this be an opportunity to call on my?
You could try divine. You could try divine intervention. Absolutely.
Yeah,
This would
try.
be. This would be a time.
the
Yes,
time.
it would.
Yes, okay. So it's my 100. I have to roll the 100, right?
Yes. So what you do?
I sat here, like right at the beginning of the event, going, okay, remember divine intervention. And then, boom! I completely forgot.
So what you do is for divine intervention, you describe the assistance you seek and roll your percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes.
So I have to roll a 17 or lower.
Yes. So what do you want?
What are the
Every
limitations?
snake dead? Because is that something?
Usually a divine intervention is going to be, the way it describes it in the player's handbook is, the DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or cleric domain spell would be appropriate. Any cleric spell. So to run over some potential options here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hers, my wish. Except hers doesn't.
The difference being that she can go up to a 9th level spell, cast it, she can, only do this if she rolls a percentile, and she doesn't have a problem with burning herself out. Cleric spells. What are some good ones? I mean, something like Planar Ally could be potentially what you could look for, or Conjure Celestial, or what is Gate? 60 feet, jeez, Pete's.
But my spells are doubled. Oh, but you're going
Attack spells only. Stink.
Yeah, I think you're right. It just says on my paper, doubles range of spell.
When you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell's range is doubled.
So it's an attack.
Yes.
Alright.
A gate would not be useful right now. I tell you what, if you make it, we can negotiate for an instantaneous Hero's Feast.
Oh. Okay, I will negotiate.
That's a potential option.
One possible, okay.
Other options, if the divine being is like, no, then you can think of some other ones, but you'll probably have to, if you can roll a high enough persuasion check to convince your deity once they show up to give you that, then you can get it. If
Okay.
not, then
I'll
you'll
write
have to
down my
figure something
options.
else.
Does she have to be over her 17?
You have to roll lower. You have to roll
17,
17.
so-
You have to
Or lower.
1 through 17.
Yeah.
Planner ally is something. 60-foot range, 10 minutes. You could ask. You could ask the deity to perform planner ally, giving you an angelic or celestial of some kind ally who can then go try to help defend your pals up on the ziggurat as a potential option. You could, that we plan our ally. Mass heal is just a little too OP for the damage level we're dealing with right now.
Right.
How often can she do this?
Once per day until she succeeds, then once per, and then can't do it again for 7 days once she succeeds.
I did it once quite a while ago.
It's been, I don't remember you ever succeeded.
I haven't succeeded.
So you
But
haven't done it today.
I haven't
so
done
you're
it in
fine.
7 days, for sure,
Well,
because
no,
we were trials protected.
you can fail every day
Oh,
until
okay.
you succeed.
Okay, and then
Once
you
you
have to wait.
succeed,
Then
you
you
must
have to
wait
wait.
7
I
days
have not
before
ever
you try
succeeded.
again.
Gotcha.
You've never succeeded, so you're safe
Okay,
because you haven't tried it today.
right.
You could conjure celestial, maybe. It's not as good, I
What
think.
does- What does that
Conjure
what-
celestial is a celestial of challenge rating 4 or lower within 90 feet. Friendly to you and your companions for the duration. Roll initiative for the celestial, which has its own turns. Blah blah blah. I'd say if you succeed on divine intervention and you fail at persuading them to do Hero's Feast instantaneous effects,
Okay.
I'd say you could probably, it would be significantly reduced persuasion check to get planner ally, and if planner ally for some reason failed, then you would 100% be able to summon celestial.
And the
Or you could.
This is all out of the same thing?
This is all.
if
Any
one
of
doesn't
these
work, right.
options, any one of these options can succeed. It's just a. If she wants instantaneous Hero's Feast, she's got to pass a persuasion check. She passes the persuasion check. Hero's Feast instantaneous effects. We're gold. Deity departs. Fail the persuasion check. Reduce persuasion check for planner ally, begging the deity to give us someone up on top of the ziggurat to defend our friends. Failing that, something like Flame Strike, summon Celestial, or something like Harm, Insect Plague. Honestly, those would probably be your best option because they're high enough level that they'll actually be worth begging a Celestial's help, begging your god's help from.
So when you say summon celestial, what are the celestials that can be summoned?
Let me look. Celestial of challenge rating or lower. Celestials. Okay. Do. Come on. No. Not you. Well, where are you? It's a really good question. Thought this would be a lot easier. You could summon a Pegasus. You could
summon something that will eat snakes.
I'm looking. What are you? Monstrosity or Fae? Monstrosity.
He has to have a good appetite.
I'd say we could I'm running out of options here, so I'd say you could theoretically summon a unicorn. It's a challenge rating 5, but I'd bend it if you persuaded the god.
What's a unicorn do for us?
Lots of good things. I don't know a lot of other celestials in the monster manual per se, so a Pegasus would probably be the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, unless I found some other. I could do a quick Google search if you wanted something different. The unicorn, again, this would be theoreticals, and it would be stretching things, and this would require summoning a unicorn as part of Summon Celestial would require a persuasion check, because it is technically outside the rules of the spell. Although I don't remember if you can upcast it. I'll check that later. It's got immune to poison. It's immune to the poison condition. It can charge and hit people with its horn. Kind of like a warhorse charge, where it can knock them over. It can do a multi-attack with its horns, with its horn and its hooves. It can healing touch 3 times a day. It can teleport once per day, up to 3 willing creatures, up to a mile away.
Wow.
But only once per day. It has legendary actions. It has magic resistance. It can heal itself, or it can use something called Shimmering Shield, giving a +2 bonus to AC. The end of the unicorn's next turn, so that's what a unicorn can do.
Wow.
And that would be. I'm gonna double check and see if Summon Celestial goes up. But if it doesn't, then it's gonna take a stiff thing for that. But instead, if you don't want the Pegasus, then I'd say you'd have to get what's this? You'd have to get the where's that? Oh, Conjure Celestial. Okay. And then I'd say you'd have to if you don't want the Pegasus and you don't want to have to persuade, then I'd say go with Planar Ally.
Okay.
Planar Ally is 10 minutes, you get a celestial of no explicit challenge rating, meaning you can get an angel to come fight for you, theoretically. Since it is under the effects of divine intervention, I would say that the planar ally would, unlike the spell's explicit description, be loyal to you guys, but would fight only until injured and then run, unlike summon celestial, where if the celestial is friendly to you and will fight until it drops to 0 hit points.
Okay.
So, or conjure celestial. That's the different. That's why conjure celestial is a 7th level versus planar ally is 6th, because as written as a cast spell, planar ally has no loyalty to you. Particularly, it's indifferent to you. It is under no compulsion to behave in any particular way. And it may require you to pay for it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Whereas Conjure Celestial brings out a challenge rating 4 or lower Celestial, which I can find later if you want. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to check. Crap. Nope, you can when you... Oh, heck, no. You have to cast it at 9th level to get a 5 or higher.
What level?
Conjure Celestial. So,
I thought I was asking
with,
you to do this.
That's, well, as an actual cast spell. You can cast these spells.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. So, with that, as part of Divine Intervention, you can either ask for Planar Ally, or ask for Conjure Celestial, with a very low, little to no persuasion.
Yeah.
It's just a question, do you want a Unicorn? Or do you want something like a Planetar, a Deva, or an Imperium? So, both of them will theoretically be under your, will be loyal to you. The Unicorn, however, will fight to the death. The Planetar, the Deva, or the Imperium will run away when they get hurt badly enough. So that's the difference there. Because it could count as a 9th level. The aid requested of your god could count as a 9th level summon and Conjure Celestial.
Gotcha.
So you could get a Unicorn.
Right.
If Hero's Feast doesn't work out.
Right. Gotcha.
So roll the dice, I guess.
All right.
Now that I'm done yammering,
No,
roll the dice.
No, everybody has to know what I'm going for.
Yeah. So 17 or lower.
39. Hello.
God's not listening today.
That's it. Thus reinforcing my concern, do they really care?
Do they really care?
Okay, so
that is your turn.
that was my turn.
Victor is going to run 30 feet straight at the moat. Because they're already shooting at him, so why not? And he is going to take 3 shots with his longbow at the previously injured Malazans. The one's up on the wall behind him. So he's about 40-ish lateral feet from them. No, more. It's like 100 and something lateral feet from them. Out, up. I don't know the hypotenuse calculations or whatever that's required.
Right. Yep.
I'm not dealing with that. My brain hurts. He's going to take 3 shots, however, without disadvantage because it is within. Next time he'll be out of advantage range if he keeps running, because he'll probably be, if there's 70 feet in the air and he runs another 30 feet, that'll be 60 feet out, 70 feet in the air. It's probably going to be close to out of 150 foot range. No?
I don't think so. I was looking at that earlier. So you're talking 6 feet?
So if he runs 60 feet out
60
and 70 feet up in the
Okay.
and 70 feet up in the air, the
This
angle
A
of
plus B
shot.
equals C
I
kind of
have no
thing.
clue. I
Yeah,
flunked
it's
algebra.
a squared. It's a squared plus b squared, and then you take the square root of that.
Squared. Blast, I hate squares. I thought we were talking about a triangle.
Well, you're talking about a right triangle with a hypotenuse.
That's what I'm not in a headspace to deal with right now.
Yeah,
However,
I'm gonna,
so he is going to take shots at them as he runs. What is that? I keep forgetting he's level 17 fighter. 11 does not hit. Another 11 does not hit. A 13 will hit. For 8 points of damage. It's not looking good.
Good.
It took an arrow in the eye, and it is kind of just stumbling around, with a snapped off arrow sticking out of its eye socket, just trying to. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which is worse because it's a snake's head.
Right.
And he's not going to action surge just yet because that would be stupid. There's no point in action surging right now. Help me remember if I ever mentioned that he's making a saving throw and I get really grousy because he fails. That he has Indomitable, which means he can reroll saves.
Say that again?
He has Indomitable, which means he can reroll saves.
Just for the record, 60 and 50 only did
70.
in 70. Well, 60 and 50 is only 78 feet.
Wow.
So you're
So
probably you've
If
got.
he gets out to 120 feet,
I'll do that for you.
and they're
And it's 70 feet
60
high.
feet up because they're going to be climbing down, then he probably will stay in range, which unfortunately he's still in range as well. So I'm just going to say that the ones on the... Well, that does change things a little bit with the ones up on the ziggurat.
Right, because they're probably more in range in a different spot than we thought they were going to be.
Yeah. I'll say halfway across, they can start shooting at you. Again, I'm
You
just
gotta work-
I'm
it's gotta work both sides,
spitballing what I'm learning from what he just said
Yeah.
against...
120 feet and 60 up is still 134 feet.
Okay, so they'll be in range out to the moat, which means, honestly, yeah, halfway across is a safe bet, but they can probably start taking shots at him if they move a little bit closer, without disadvantage. Almost now, like if they move one closer, they'll be at least half of them will be able to shoot without disadvantage at almost anyone. Not anyone, because it is a flat distance of 180 feet from the wall to the ziggurat. Or no, it's 200 feet from the wall to the ziggurat, because it's 120 feet to the moat, it's 80 feet, it's 60 feet to the moat, it's 20 feet on the other side of the moat. So it's still 200 feet from base of ziggurat to wall, so it's not like they're still going to be taking shots at you with disadvantage until you get about halfway across, which will take you down to 140 feet.
And would I understand?
Flat distance plus ups.
Once the flat distance goes over 150, you're at disadvantage.
Right. With the fudge are
What are you
you
doing
doing
down
down here?
He opened the gate.
Well, we have a dog now. Hello.
I'll be right back.
No, he's fine. As long as he doesn't pee on the carpet. he's
But
fine.
he may have already. I gotta check it.
Oh, fuck.
Why are you panting so much? What have you been doing upstairs?
I don't want to know.
I'm
Welcome to my life. So
It's a beautiful dog.
he was a gorgeous beauty, but he is not supposed. He doesn't usually come down here. Anywho, anytime they get below 60, anytime the distance drops below 150 flat out, then I'll
It's
say
possible.
that they can get him. So 140, so halfway across is 140 flat feet to the base of the ziggurat, which will then be up and away. No, I'll say that they still have to get to the base of the ziggurat, and to the edge of the moat, because they're still going up, but they're also going in at least 30 or 40 feet, depending on how many ledges up they are on the ziggurat. So we'll keep them only able to shoot without disadvantage once you get to the base of the moat. Once you get to the moat, if you're on the ziggurat, but if you're on the wall, you can shoot him anywhere from ziggurat to wall, or from moat to wall. Once you start crossing the moat, then it gets out of range. Math is hard.
It's easier when you've got one of these.
That is very true. So Victor has shot. Lisbeth is going to... she's going to hang on to the javelins of lightning for now because she doesn't want to waste those by potentially losing them. And there's not more, and she doesn't like using them if there's less than 2 to 3 targets in a line that she can zap with the lightning bolts. He was good?
Nothing that I can find.
If he doesn't pee and he comes down and behaves himself next time, he can.
I would love
if
it.
you're okay with that, he can stay.
You should stay.
It's just that
I was very rude.
when he doesn't behave himself is when he gets.
Right.
I mean, that's the
Sorry,
rules of
but
life,
thank
isn't
you.
it? So I was just saying, Elizabeth is probably going to just huck some regular javelins with disadvantage for now, because no, she's gonna move far enough so she can throw the javelins without disadvantage, but not with disadvantage. Then she's gonna run because she doesn't want to use the javelins of lightning because she doesn't know that she's gonna be able to use those and retrieve them reliably if she shoots
Right.
them, if she throws them up at the gallery.
Right.
And then, so she doesn't want to potentially lose those. Plus, she doesn't like using them when there's less than 2 to 3 targets to zap in the lightning bolts.
That makes sense.
So she's gonna hold on to those. She's gonna throw javelins. So she's gonna throw those. Moving far enough that she can get an angle on them without losing a regular shot. She's going to. That's a. Happens to it. That is a 30. It's a 30 to hit. And
Whose turn is this?
Elizabeth. That's a 27. That's a 30 again. So it's 2 30s and a 27 to hit with the javelin. Supply of javelins is holding out so far so good. Which is a thing that she'll have to keep an eye on, but she doesn't use them enough that I forgot about it. So that's 3 hits with the javelins, which gives her 6 plus 5, 3. 5, 6. It's 11, and 7. That's 1 Malazan on the wall behind us down, with a javelin through its other eye, and another one that's taken 2 in the chest.
That gives a whole new meaning to the expression, dead-eye dick.
This is a kind of off-the-wall question, but if I were one of the temple people and I were tied up and everything, I would be making an attempt to escape.
Wait a minute, what temple people? Oh, our temple
prisoners.
people. Oh, right.
I would be making an attempt to escape in each round. I'm not saying that you have to, but that just occurred to me that if I were one of them, I would be trying to do something. And you've got clerics that in case, unless they, and we've got acolytes too, we've got magic wielders up there that, depending on how they are tied.
Yeah. It's funny they haven't tried to escape yet, hasn't it?
They're not really up there.
I beg your pardon. Top of the round. The abominations are going to continue their chanting in this strange tongue. If you wish, you may make either an intelligence check to attempt to discern language, or a religion check to determine what they are doing.
18 plus 5, so
It
23.
appears to be some kind of summoning ritual.
Oh, great. Good to know.
I'm sorry, I've got it.
Would I probably understand a summoning ritual to require concentration?
No. Not necessarily.
Okay.
Consistency, but not necessarily quote-unquote concentration.
Okay.
It would likely only be paused or paused if they stopped doing what they were doing for a certain amount of time, and then potentially disrupted if they were prevented from continuing for a certain amount. What you got?
And
It's a language that you have heard before, but it's been a while, like at least since your days in wizard's school. Since
wait a
you've heard
minute.
that.
Did
What?
you sleep through that class?
Well, it's not that he necessarily even
Just a long
learned that
time.
language, it's just
Oh.
that he would have heard it being spoken at wizard school as one of the last places he would have heard it, potentially.
yeah, this isn't a saving throw. This is a
Just a straight up check off the
Yeah.
stat.
+5. I rolled a 5. I
Uh,
even tried to cheat and rolled the computer and then the other, and they both came up with a 5. I was going to take the low number anyway. I mean, I was
Okay.
going to take the one that I rolled first.
Finnan is going to, yeah, so that's, hang on. I'll go back to him real fast. There's boots. Boots, Finn. The heck? Where'd the boots go? There you are. Well. One okay. Two. One, no, it's two. Okay. So he's going to. I'm trying to figure out his boots because he's got 10 cumulative minutes of this doubled speed disadvantage opportunity attacks thing. Or I'm going to write it, so I'm just like kind of calculating out 200 rounds approximately. No, 100 rounds, but he's now starting the second round of 100 rounds. So,
If it takes us 100 rounds to get through this.
yeah, well,
we're
it's
not
a
gonna be
thing
alive.
he can like click them on and off as a bonus action, so he can click them on for however long this fight lasts, click them off, wander around for a couple of hours, click them back on again.
Oh, do they recharge them?
They recharge after a long rest, which is why he gets 10 cumulative minutes per long rest.
Cool.
So for the time outside between long rests, he has 10 minutes that he can click these things around for.
That's cool.
So if we're ever running from or after something, he can click them on. If we're in a fight, he can click them on. And then when we're done running, being run at, or running around, then he can click them off again. Calculate how much time he's got left,
Nice.
and roll that over.
Nice.
All right. He is going to take some more shots with the robe of stars at the wounded Yuan-Ti Malazan on the wall behind him for another 2 more submission. 20 points of damage. And another one dies. As
Yay.
a blizzard of darts slam into it.
Phew.
Don't forget you have that as well, and you have 240 foot range on the magic missiles coming out of your wand because of spell. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's a thorny area because it specifically states in rules is written that it has to have an attack roll, and magic missiles don't.
Right.
So, rules is written, it only gets 120 feet, but still 120 feet.
Yeah.
And you can roll up to a level 6 without endangering your wands.
Right.
Alright. Ron Geary, you're out.
Where are either on the ziggurat behind us to the right of us? Where are people the most bunched up?
They're not.
How many can I get at a time anywhere?
3.
And are there 3 on the ziggurat and behind and to the right and the left, or
No. Just on the ziggurat, I'd say.
on the ziggurat? Okay,
No, you can't hit the ziggurat yet.
I think I can. That's if I get to the edge of the thing, it's 80 feet.
Yeah, but you're currently 90 feet away from.
The
If you ran 25 feet out to hit the guys behind you, if you ran straight ahead 5 feet, which I don't know which direction you ran in a random direction away from the 25 feet out from the wall, which at 25 feet put you 95 feet away from the moat.
So it would be 80 plus 95.
Yeah.
That's more than 150. That's
Right. So
Okay.
if you ran another 30 feet, that would put you 60. And you had run. It all depends on which way you ran when you ran in a random direction. If you ran straight toward it, you would only be 60. You'd only be 90 feet away. At which point you'd be 30 feet away from the moat. If you ran in literally any other direction, you'd be still 95 feet away, at which point you'd be 65 feet away. I'll leave that up to your head calculations. I don't need to know which direction you ran. The 5 feet to confuse anyone shooting at you. But the
Well, I actually didn't think about trying to go back in to go back towards, because eventually I'm going to have to go.
so if
and
you
I'm already
so you're 90 feet away at the start of your turn
from the ziggurat.
from the
60
no
plus 30.
from the moat. From the edge of the moat, because it's
How far is the moat?
120 feet from the
Oh,
wall.
okay.
It's 60 feet of moat, 20 feet of paving around the base of the ziggurat. So you're
Okay.
at the wall. You were 200 feet away from the ziggurat base. 30 feet out from that, you were 170 feet away from the ziggurat base. Run 30 more feet, you'll be 140 feet away from the base of the ziggurat. There's nobody on the
So,
base of the ziggurat.
I'm going to
They're
run.
all at least 4, sometimes as many as 5 tiers minimum up the thing.
Yeah. I don't want to get too far away from the rest of the party. Is the thing.
Yeah, and we can't tell where you are.
No, I've got to keep track of where they are.
Uh-huh.
And
So currently Victor has run 30 feet dead ahead straight for the ziggurat. He is booking it.
so I'm going to go toward. I'm going to go in that direction,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm. Huh?
Stay out of his way.
I'm gonna be, I can see him. I'm going to move off to on an angle
running
You
away
just
from
see
him.
a charging juggernaut running down.
I'm not going to be in front of him. At that point.
That would
oh,
be
wait
funny.
a minute. Wait.
That would be
Yeah, I
hilarious.
have to worry about that. Is
That would be
not being
absolutely
in front of him.
hilarious.
I'm going to
If
run
you-
so that I'm not
you
beyond where
spe-
he is now.
If you specified that you didn't, if you didn't specify that you got out of his way, I would have started rolling percentile dice the closer he got to you to see if he ran into you on accident. Because he doesn't have see invisibility and he can't see you, so he'd have just been barreling through and just gone, wham! the way, wizard!
You clumsy lout!
All right.
So then I'm going to. There are still. There are no bunched up on the walls.
No.
Okay, so I
Well,
don't
no.
want
There's three. There's three you could maybe get on the wall. Maybe.
Just a second. I wanna
There's
see.
two of the type of the snake-bodied ones on the wall to your left. They're kind of close together. There's another one.
Am I within 120 feet of them?
Yeah. You could probably be within, with a little bit of movement, you could probably get there-ish.
Well, I've got 120 feet on a firebolt,
Okay.
which and it is 4
D10 if you hit.
4d10 if I hit. Okay. I hit the target takes 1d10 fire damage.
Which
So-
increases to 2d10 at level 5, 3d10 at level 10.
But I'm doing it as a cantrip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a no, at your level.
Uh-huh.
At
Your
player
personal-
level 5.
Oh, okay. It goes up regardless. Okay.
Player level 5xx something, 17 I think is the level. Is
I
4d10,
get it. I
whatever
get
it
it.
was.
I get an increase by 1d10 at 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
11,
11 there it is.
17.
Yeah, 5, 11, and 17 is where the
And
player
that's
level.
why it said I've got 4d10 fire
Exactly.
damage.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what you got?
Huh?
Are you rolling the attack on there, or? Are
No,
you...
I was just.
Okay. So you've got like a plus something.
For-
Attack bonus.
Yeah, let's see. I'm sorry.
It's usually your damage stat plus your.
My spell attack is plus 11.
Okay.
So.
Hit it.
Hit it, meaning
Send
roll.
it. Send it. Roll it.
And that's here.
Unless you want to use the phone.
There's a certain amount of
Satisfaction.
satisfaction physically doing something.
Oh yes.
Well, I don't know. Will a 24 hit?
No. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna say that and I'm not gonna go yes.
I know.
So I now need to roll.
4d10.
Trying to decide whether that's it's an 8.
Sorry, I just enjoy doing that to you guys. I really didn't think you would take it that seriously because I've been hitting them with like. I hit them with something a lot lighter than that earlier, and they're all basically the same armor class.
Okay.
This is a 10. 1. A 0 is 10, right?
Yes.
20.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
26. Huh?
If you had rolled 3 or 4 10s in a row, I'd start to ask to see your dice.
28.
Not bad. Alright, it's looking bad.
Hmm?
It's looking bad.
And then you're gonna wiggle out of the way, right?
Well, they still attack with disadvantage even if he doesn't move. And moving doesn't confer any extra advantage. It's just a flavor text bit if you want to move.
Yeah, it's also whether or not they're going to try.
They're going to try if they decide that you're annoying enough. Which you're starting to hit that threshold about now.
Yeah.
But
Firebolt's just
Firebolt, you're starting to get their attention and not in a good way. You've gotten their attention because you're a cleric and
invisible.
that too, but you're starting to irritate them.
They're getting heated. Oh no.
Okay.
What is that? Okay.
So those skeleton snake creatures have reached the bridges now. And
They came off of the ziggurat?
they came around the outside of the ziggurat. They are
Oh, okay.
they have not reached it yet. Sorry, they're getting closer. They're like coming down and around the outer lower ledges. They've reached the base of the ziggurat. They're 20 feet away from the bridges now.
Are they before or after the Malazans in their initiative order? I thought.
Before.
Okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but.
I should have gone before Finn with them, but I forgot.
Oh, so they're with it right after the.
Abominations, yes.
Okay.
So it's abominations, naga,
Bone
bone skeleton thingies, and then Finn and Rangir.
Gotcha.
Now the Malazans are going to go. And the one that just got shot by you is going to take 2 shots at you at disadvantage because you just shot at it. That misses. That also misses.
Good.
So it's again, it's fighting someone in the dark when you're blindfolded.
And also you have the little laser pointed at it.
Or just your bare hands. You're just kind of swinging around trying to hit it. You know he's out there somewhere, but you don't know where. The one on the wall behind you is going to... Are you out from under the scaffolding yet? Okay. It is going to move down to the next scaffold platform, and it is going to take a shot at Finn. $18 and a natural 1. Nothing happens.
Good.
But Finnan does take 9 points of piercing damage. And 3 points of poison damage as the wyvern flares purple on his back.
That's a nice color. And the other one on the wall behind you that just came out of the passages beyond the balconies. Yeah, it's up on the balcony 100 feet up. Okay, so it is going to take 2 shots at Finnan. I don't think it has disadvantage quite yet. He's moved 50 feet out. Yeah. 16 miss. 16 miss. So 2 more arrows go zinging by him.
There is nobody on wall 4.
Oh, okay.
Wall 4 is the one to our right.
Yes. The ones on wall 3. Well, okay, correction.
We probably can't tell if there's anybody on wall 3,
Why are we looking dead across it?
because wall 3 would be on the other side of the ziggurat.
That's fair if
We can't see anything that's behind the ziggurat.
that would be fair if
Mhm.
the ones on wall 3 hadn't come charging around at full dash and split, leaving another one on wall 2 and one on wall 4.
Okay.
So the one on wall 4 is still at full dash. So he takes a full dash to get himself closer. He should start shooting anytime now, but he's still out of range of the longbow, but he's getting closer. Ditto for the one on wall 2 that came running from wall 3. So the ones on wall 2 are going to move closer. Not get too bunched up, but you could maybe catch 3 of them in a fireball next time. Maybe 4 max.
No, I'm trying to think of this as far as,
They're running
No,
towards wall 1.
it's the geometry that's going through it.
Yeah. 2 of them are still at disadvantage. 2 of them are not. I may have screwed up the first count around. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So they are going to take shots at Victor and Finnan, the ones that are shooting with disadvantage. The 2 that are shooting at
Finnan has not had his turn yet, has he?
yeah, he did. He shot one of them.
That's right, I didn't cantrip him, that's right.
So they are going to take shots at Victor. Miss. Miss. Finnan. Miss. Miss. And the remaining 2 are going to take shots at you because of personal bias. You're a cleric. They don't like clerics. That's a natural 1.
Doesn't shoot his partner.
Unfortunately, no effect. Second shot is 10, which misses. Third shot is a 20. Fourth is a 6. Does a 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
4 points of piercing. 4 points of poison. And then the ones in the ziggurat are going to fire with disadvantage at Finnan, Victor, and you.
Me again, my goodness.
It's a miss against Victor. Miss again. Finnan dodges the shots just barely. You do not get hit. And Do not get hit.
Good.
Now, the ones on the wall to your left are in range. They are close enough that you could catch both of them in a fireball, but they're not close to anyone else.
And it's not like trying to.
No, but
Yeah.
they're.
Eventually.
I'm giving you clusters.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
3 to 4 over there. Then there's they're clustered in 2s and 3s usually. They know what you can do, and especially based on what you did to their mates up on the first wall. So they don't want to get too close, but they're also they're jockeying that balance between close enough to hit you while not being clustered up for a fireball. So 2 of them are going to take shots at you because you're a cleric.
Yeah.
Natural 1. And we have a hit an ally if within 5 feet of target. Nope. Shot goes wild, but there's no allies of his within 5 feet of the target, so. Yeah. Oh well. 18 misses. 13 misses. Natural 1.
Wow.
That's nothing happens.
Okay.
And on the ziggurat, three of them are going to fire at Victor, 3 of them are going to fire at Elizabeth, 3 of them are going to fire at Thea, 3 of them are going to fire at you.
Here?
It makes me feel slightly better about picking them. And the others are dangerous, it's just they tend to pick on clerics as a priority target. That said, they're not all going to focus their fire exclusively on you. There is a charging juggernaut headed their way, and
right.
there is someone who there's 2 people who just killed 2 of their buddies.
Right.
So I said that Victor is going to be out of range until he gets the thing. So that's it. Wow. Natural 20, natural 1.
Huh.
Nothing happens. Second shot with disadvantage. Nothing happens. Third shot. 15 misses. Fourth. How am I doing this before? Miss. Fifth. Miss. Sixth shot is a miss. Elizabeth. Miss. Natural 1. Oh.
Oh, I like that sound.
Oh. Elizabeth is going to move 10 feet closer. It's alerted the target can move 10 feet. And because that's her objective, she's going to move 10 feet closer.
There you go.
So Elizabeth is now 40 feet out from the wall, so she's 80 feet away from the moat. What was that? 4th shot against Elizabeth? 3rd shot? That's okay. I'll start over. That being 1. 2 misses. Oh my lord. 23 will hit her. 5 is a miss. And 6 is a 21, which will just hit her, so 2 hits. And that's a disadvantage. That was a 19 and a natural 20 on the 23 to hit. So that's 8 points of piercing and 2 points of poison. And then it's 6 points of piercing and 4 points of poison. And as you see the winged serpent on her chest flaring with glowing purple light. And 3 against Finnan and 3 against you. Or 3 archers fire. That's 10 miss. 19 miss. 16 just barely miss. Ha! Another natural 1, natural 20. Nothing happens, but he misses. And another 9 misses. Now it's your turn. 15 miss.
Oh.
It's 9. What are you? 20. 10. 12. And 6. That one shot will deal 9 points of piercing. And 6 points of poison.
Wow.
Yeah, double 6s.
Whoa.
I think that's everyone there. The skeletal ones have already moved. So. The snakes are starting to kind of boil over the edge of the moat just a little bit. And you're up. Victor's on deck.
Okay. So when I cast my spiritual weapon, I can say where I want to place it, essentially.
Up to the spell range, yes.
240. This is an attack spell. You already determined this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to put it against the abomination, like near them. They're
Are they on top?
They're on the very top of the ziggurat.
And we don't know how tall that is.
I thought they were down on the walls.
Those are Malazans.
Oh, I thought because there were 12 guys up at the top.
No. There were 2 abominations chanting their heads off on the top of the thing with all of your mates. Then there's like a pack of a couple of serpent heads and then mostly serpent bodies with longbows ranged down the sides of the ziggurat.
So what would be my hypotenuse?
We don't know how tall it is. That's the
just
problem.
assume that you can't get to the top of the ziggurat.
Without
Just
moving
You're how far out? You're
She's
more than
way out.
150.
she's 200 feet from the base of the ziggurat.
Then she can't get to the
Then
top.
it's another.
Well, 200 feet, that's 400. 40K. Or 4.4K, I'm sorry. And then it depends on how tall it is.
It's a 400 by 400 foot with about a 40 to 60 foot top side with, and this is where I screw up because I can't remember.
Right.
It's, I want to say it's 5 in, 5 up.
Right. Seems like to do this.
So we have to take away 180 feet going in because you're bringing in on both sides. So 180 is, the fact that it's 180 means it's out of reach.
Okay.
Because
180
that's,
in
oh wait a
by
minute, you get to
5
200
up,
what?
240.
240.
Oh, just a second then, I've got to, that
She's
is
200 feet
impossible.
away plus another 180 in times It's divided by 5 up, isn't it? It's each
'Cause
5
your in doesn't matter.
each 5 in off of the 180 in that we're taking off is 5 up. So it should be like 100 and there's a standard reason it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 200-ish, 150 to 200 feet up in the area. Because every 5 feet in goes 5 feet up. So
Well, what we have is we're taking 100 and we're going from 400 to 40.
call it 60 to be safe.
Okay, so 400 to 60.
Yeah.
Which gives you 240,
Yes.
and 240. Then you've got 120. So you've got 120 up, and we've got 200. We've got how much in?
180 is what you said.
You said 180 at 40, because it's 400 down to 60 is 340, which will give us 170 coming from both sides. So that'll be 170 in. Which
No, what I was saying is how far away is she from the ziggurat?
from the base of the ziggurat, she's 200 feet.
Okay, so it's
So it would stand to reason that the ziggurat is approximately 170 feet tall, because every 5 feet in is 5 feet up, because of the way that the ledges work.
Right.
Because the ledges are 5 feet deep and 5 feet tall. So then it would be, if it's 180 feet, if it's 170 feet in, it would be 170 feet up. Which is why I kept it equal, because I just did that easier a little bit to my brain at the time. And then I was considering going 5 feet in, 10 feet up, but then I'm like, that's sadistic to the players trying to climb it. I didn't do that. But, plus it makes it ridiculously tall. So it's 170 feet up to there, and the abominations are not necessarily going to be consistent in line of sight to the edge of the ziggurat, because they've got a 60-foot space to play with prisoners. And then, so if you've got 180 feet up, 180 feet in,
380 feet in. Because I'm at the back wall 200 feet away from it.
then you add the 200, you then come to 380 feet in and 180 feet up. So that's a hypotenuse I do not wish to tackle.
Okay, we'll just assume that I can't.
Yeah.
But I can.
Until you can get minimum. I'd say the moat is probably a safe bet if you want to get them immediately.
Okay.
Obviously, you can move it up
Right.
60 feet at a time.
So
And so you can cast it 240 feet. So I'd say you could cast it probably close to 20 feet up the ziggurat. So 4 levels up the ziggurat.
is there anybody?
yeah, you're 262 feet away from the top of the ziggurat
Never mind.
at this point in time.
So I can
Holy
run out.
smite.
I can
Okay.
run 20
You
feet out?
you oh my god, you run 22 feet out.
No, that won't do it. You've got to go double that. You've got to go 40
I
feet.
can't run that fast.
You have 240 foot range. You're 260 feet away if you run.
Yeah, but you're doing this,
Yeah.
and it.
Which is going to damage your line of sight to the top.
So
potentially.
if she was
So
at
let me just
100
stick
what?
with- No,
So if you put the thingy 240 feet away, and you're 262 feet from the top, you can move it up to 60 feet on your turn
Right.
and attack something with it.
Right.
So,
So let me just put it on
On the
some
ziggurat.
side of the ziggurat,
Mhm.
and whoever I can see them on the side of the ziggurat.
Yes.
So I will place it as high as I can above as many as I can. We'll just call it there.
yeah,
So I'm going to cast this thing.
So how far away are you again?
she's 200 feet
She's
away.
going to
from
move. Was she
But
going
she's
to
move-
move?
you're
at
moving
all.
30 feet. You're not moving at all. Okay.
Because I don't have to
No.
with that angle.
Okay. God, I hate spell snipers.
I'm pretty happy.
I built this thing to defy you guys.
Does 21 hit?
Yes, 21 does hit.
I'm so happy.
Glad you are.
Somebody should be
You do
here.
want us to die, do you?
I didn't want you to die, but I don't want you to instant this
We're
thing.
not
Trust me,
doing
nothing
anything
against
instant about this.
Well, the original intent of the inner ziggurat was to prevent you guys from just dropping a fireball or a something nasty up there to just start pounding on my guys up there. You were supposed to have to come and get them.
You can
We
relax.
probably
I
will.
rolled on 2d8, a 1 and a 2 plus 10, so it's 13 points of damage for somebody. Not excited. And then
That's your bonus action.
that's my bonus.
So you can then cast Sacred Flame has a range of as written range because it's not an attack spell. It's 120 feet? Is it?
Probably.
That's usually a pretty safe bet.
Right.
So at this point, the only thing you could hit would be the swarms.
The snakes?
The swarms starting to crawl out of the thing
But I
because
can't hit a bunch of them. I can just hit one at a time.
you're 120 feet away from the moat.
No. Oh, yeah, but I can't hit.
Because you haven't moved
I can
at
only
all.
hit one at a time, and we're talking
You
no.
can hit a swarm.
I
which
can hit a
means
whole
you
swarm?
Scorch a couple of them.
Okay, I will hit a swarm.
Because the way that swarms work is they have a collective AC,
Oh,
collective
wonderful.
HP.
That's exciting.
For you.
Thank you.
60 feet, my bad.
So I can hit somebody.
No. You're out of range. Oh, yeah, you can hit
Up
one of
in
the
the
guys up. Because again, the room is 600 feet on a side. And they're just barely within 150 foot range of you.
Okay.
So, they're. Yeah, you can't hit anything with Sacred Flame, I'm sorry. That you can do. No, you can't, I'm sorry. We ruled that. The ruling is that if you cast a spell
right.
on your bonus action, you can't
Can't
cast
hit,
anything
right,
higher
right.
than a cantrip.
Right on. No,
Okay.
that's okay. That's all right.
You could, yeah. In theory, if you did that kind of thing again, the only thing I could think of you doing if there was no one in range would be Spare the Dying, but you don't need to do that right now, thank
Right.
God.
Can I hold an action?
You can. You can hold a Sacred Flame
Yeah.
until and unless someone gets within 60 feet of you.
Right.
They won't, but you can hold it.
Well, I'll hold it, and yeah, 60 feet would be. I might get in 60 feet of them.
It drops at the start of your turn.
Gotcha.
They're not going to move within 60 feet of you before your
Okay.
turn.
You can hit something 115 feet up on the ziggurat, by the way. With anything that's 240.
Okay, that'll be her spiritual weapon.
Right.
Okay, so Victor and Lisbeth, I will say they just dash closer to the ziggurat at this point.
Okay.
I know where those two are. I know where the base of the bridge they're going to go for, and I have moved out of the ziggurat.
I will say they are within. Victor is going to not dash because he can shoot. He's going to shoot things. And Lisbeth is going to dash because she can't shoot things. She has 120 foot disadvantage range with the javelins. So she is going to not throw anything, she's just going to run. Victor's going to do 3 quick attack rolls. Hit, and hit. 11, 5, 9.
Nice.
Against one of the ones behind him.
Cool.
He runs out, spins around, ting, 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 and Elizabeth dashes. So she is almost on level with him. So she is about 60. She is about 30 feet away from the thing. And so she's more or less on line with him at this point.
Okay.
Because she makes up the turn that you guys
Yeah. Right.
that they both threw
Right.
things at them
Right.
by dashing. So.
Yeah. Oh my God.
With that, we are going to finish the top of the next initiative round because of what happens, and then we're going to cut it.
Because of
The
what
top
happens.
of the. I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
At the top of the third round.
Oh, the spell works. Or whatever you're doing.
Well, not exactly. 1 second. You see one of the sellswords being grabbed by an abomination who sinks a ceremonial dagger into his throat and cuts his throat. So one of the sellswords has been killed.
How could that?
What?
So they can stop their chanting, or were
They're,
they
not-
just?
they're still chanting.
But they can.
It was a pause in the chant when they sacrificed him.
Which makes their chant more effective in all likelihood.
Do something.
Otherwise,
You should do it.
they're not just doing that to make us angry.
No. There is a practical purpose in their minds behind this death. Alright. That is where we're going to call it for the night.
I have
Everyone, I appreciate you coming along on this math-heavy and slightly bloodthirsty episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, the best way to support the channel is to go over to Nightwalker's Bazaar, the Printify shop link in the bio. Drop a comment if you'd like to see something specific added. Best way to help support the channel is to leave a like, drop a comment either about what you want to see or what you liked or didn't like about the episode today. Subscribe if you haven't already, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of our episodes, share it on social media, tell your friends about it, and as always, stay hydrated, stay adventurous, and we'll catch you on the flip side.